What's up, everybody? Patrick McNally here, your favorite financial advisor. Welcome to the Retirement Lifestyles Podcast. This is the show where it's all about having the health, wealth, and freedom to live your dream retirement. If you're getting close to retirement or you are already there, this is the show for you. Going to talk about how to get your money right, how to structure your investments to provide that number one thing you need in retirement, which is income. For over 22 years now, I've helped people just like you plan for an amazing retirement. But what I've found is that when most people get to retirement, they worry. They worry about their income, their health, inflation, the stock market, higher taxes, all this stuff. Well, it's time for the worry to stop. And the best way to make it stop is with a plan. I'm going to help guide you through this giant maze we call retirement planning. Today on the show, my body's talking. It may be the end of the world and tax-free cash. I got a loaded show for you, and we're going to get started right after this. You've saved, sacrificed, and invested for years. Now you're no longer getting a paycheck from a job. So the big questions for retirement is this: how do you retire with enough income to live the lifestyle you always wanted without the fear of running out of money, going back to work, or becoming a burden on the people you love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Patrick McNally, and welcome to Retirement Lifestyles. Okay, welcome back to the show, and I'm going to launch in here to our health segment. And what I want to talk about today is, I'm just kind of thinking about it the last, a few weeks or whatnot, about listening to your body. Actually, I'm going to tell you kind of a little personal story. So a week and a half or so ago, I went on a golf trip, and I was out of town for about 4 days, 3 days of amazing golf in Reno, Nevada. They got some beautiful golf courses over there. In fact, the first day I shot my best that I've shot in a long time, 1 under par, -1. I was pretty stoked about that. So having a lot of fun, played the next day, so for our second day. Then we went back to the hotel, spent the night, blah, blah, blah. Got up the third day to play, and I put my foot down on the ground, and oh my gosh, did it feel like something was stabbing me in the bottom of my foot. And it hurt. Like I had to kind of like massage it out, and I thought for a brief second, like, man, I don't know if I can even play today. I don't know if I can even swing a club. And ultimately, I got to play and did fine, but got home and was still hurting. And for the next 2 days, I was really just kind of massaging it and like, wow. And I decided not to work out for the week. I'm like, you know what? I really need to lay off this foot. Doing CrossFit, doing things like that, it's pretty intensive on your feet. I mean, we beat up our feet anyway, just living life. But I knew, if I was going to run or do a bunch of stuff, it was just going to continue to make it hurt. So I took a break. My foot feels great. Looking forward to getting back into the gym. But it all kind of came full circle. Like, you know what? I listened to my body and said, I could very easily probably push through this. I kind of did that when I played that third day of golf. Made myself push through it. But when I got back, I thought to myself, yeah, I could probably push through it, go work out, figure stuff out. But I didn't. I'm just going to lay off, listen to my body, take a break. And I think that's a good lesson for all of us. If you work out at the gym, you probably already know this. But I think it's just kind of a good reminder that it's okay to take a break. In fact, most fitness professionals will tell us that most of all of the gains, the muscle growth, and all of that happens during rest. Because you work out and you tear down the muscle, you stress out the muscles and all of that, and then the muscles grow back. Well, they grow back during rest. And therefore, I think that rest is underrepresented or not talked about enough or stressed how important it is. And so rest, I think, is a really good thing. And just listening to your body when it's time to rest, I think can save people from maybe getting hurt. I know in my own life, I'm the kind of person who usually just kind of works through and grinds it out and sucks it up and does the job, kind of a mentality. But I don't think that's always smart. In fact, I can probably point to a number of times where it set me back, where I have pushed through something and then it set me back, a week or two even, and took me out of the game, if you will. So that's my tip in the health segment today, is listening to your body. And I really believe that even if you took a week off, you're not going to lose any fitness gains or anything like that. I don't believe that. I know in my own life, it's never been the case. I've taken a week off. I come back to the gym feeling refreshed and ready to get right back into it, and do not notice that I've really gained any weight so don't have that irrational fear that you're going to give up what you've been working on. So that's my health segment for today. Now I want to segue into our wealth segment, where at the time of this recording, which is September, the markets are being a little bit beat up. This is September 2022. The stock market's been beat up a lot. There are a lot of headlines right now that are just all fear-based, and it's not like it's just right now. That's what the media does. If it bleeds, it leads, and they want to, scare you into feeling like you need to do something. And that's, I guess, what I want to get across right now. Is it the end of the world? No, it's not. And has this happened before? Yes, it has. Is it different this time? No, it's not. I'm just going to be very blunt with that. I've been doing this for 22 years, been a financial advisor for over 22 years. In that time period, I've seen these markets, the cycles we've gone through. You remember 08, 09? Yeah, been through it, done it. You remember 2000? Yep, been there, done that. And even been a student of the past. Looking at the market as a whole over time, you see this. You see the cycles that we're in. It's not different. It may feel that way. I think it may be just a different package. Yeah, it's a new administration. We tend to want to blame whoever's in administration for what's going on. And just things happen in the world, guys. That's what happens. And it's news that drives the market. And that's why we see these headlines and stuff and putting fear into people's minds about potentially needing to do something or to make a change. And you may need to make a change, but I think for most people, you don't. If anything, you need to review your planning. That's what I would tell somebody. If there needs to be a change, maybe it'll show itself when you review your financial plan. But a lot of the things that I'm hearing, questions that I get from listeners, whether from this podcast, from my radio show, maybe people have ordered a book or something like that, and they ask me like, hey, should I go to cash? Should I buy gold? Should I buy this? Should I do that? And it's like, well, let's talk about some long-term goals. Like, no, but I feel like I got to do something right now. No, dude, why don't you just stop for a second? Think about what it is that you're saying. If the stock market's down 23% right now, your portfolio's down whatever, is it the best time to sell? You want to lock in your losses? Is that what you're saying to me? Once you kind of think through or maybe even say something out loud like, okay, yeah, that doesn't really make any sense, does it? But it's just those emotional triggers that we all have, especially when it's tied to our money. That's why I believe it's really important to have somebody, an advisor or somebody you trust, your CPA, somebody who you trust that can be that extra voice, if you will, that voice of reason to go, no, it's probably not as bad as you think. Or have you thought of this? And so that is really important right now, that you just take a step back and read between some of these lines. If you're reading the media headlines, like what is their actual agenda? What are they trying to get across? Well, they're trying to get your eyeballs on their stuff is what they're doing. That's what fear does. It draws you in to what it is that they're trying to tell you. And so I would just encourage you guys to take a step back, look at it, from a high level and go, what are they really doing here? And is it really that bad? And do I really need to be this fearful, moving forward? And at the end of the day, 99 out of 100 times, the answer is no, you really don't. What are you filling your mind with? And maybe you can just shut it off. So that is my wealth segment. I actually do have a couple of checklists and things you can be looking at that will help you. And if you want, you can visit patrickmcnally.com. Maybe that's where you went to find this podcast. I don't know. But you can go to patrickmcnally.com. Up in the right-hand corner is a tab that says checklists, and they're free. You just go there and download them. I've got one on inflation, recessions, life. I got all kinds of stuff on there that you can download and help you with this stuff. And a lot of times kind of going through these checklists can make you think about what's actually going on and give you kind of that peace of mind that you are looking for. Hey guys, pardon the quick interruption. I'll get back to the show in just a minute, but I want to give you the opportunity to get a free copy of my book, Retirement Planning 101, a simple guide to navigating retirement. It's 8 chapters packed with tips and strategies on how to prepare for an awesome retirement. I go through investments, estate planning, Social Security, and more. Simply visit patrickmcnally.com and request a copy. That website again is patrickmcnally.com. Throughout the book, I'm going to explain the importance of planning ahead and focusing on income strategies that are going to set you up for success and lead you to a retirement lifestyle of abundance. I'll also be teaching you about the Retirement Lifestyles Income Plan, my custom financial planning process and investment strategy with the objective of providing inflation-adjusted income for life. This book is packed with all kinds of strategies, and you can get your free copy right now at patrickmcnally.com. Okay, guys, let's segue our way into our freedom segment of the day. And the freedom segment, I typically want to bring you things like travel, and that's what the retirement lifestyle is. It's about the freedom to do the things you want to do. But today, I'm kind of tacking on to what would normally fall into our wealth segment, and that's life insurance. But I'm doing it this way because I believe that life insurance can be a tax-free way to help preserve freedom for your loved ones in retirement. Not only in retirement, but just in life in general. So that's why I decided to talk about it in the freedom segment. Now, at the time of this recording again, it's September, which is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So the last couple of shows, if you've listened to, I've been talking about different types of insurance. So I am going to, touch on insurance, but like the last one, I talked about term insurance. But really, this is just kind of insurance in general as a way to preserve freedom. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, the freedom of choice, options, to be able to do the things that you want to do. And finances are obviously a part of that. When we lose a loved one that, contributes financially to the family, that can be devastating. I've seen it go bad for young people, for old people at the same time. So it doesn't really matter where you are in life as far as age. We all need money, and we all got to pay our bills, and that's what this is all about. If someone passes away and you lose an income source, how are you going to make that up? And I'm going to talk about it from the sense of retirement, because a lot of people, when they get to retirement, they think, do I even really need life insurance anymore? The kids are out of the house, college is paid for, the house is paid off, we don't have any debt. So a lot of times, those are all amazing goals, and I want you to get there. But have you thought about it from the income standpoint? And a lot of times people think, well, the life insurance is just to pay off debts. No, life insurance is replacement of income. And in retirement, what are the main income sources? For most people, Social Security. If you're married, 2 Social Securities for the most part. There may be a pension. There may be, another rental product. There may be different income sources coming in that when that person passes away, you may lose. This shouldn't be a shocker to you, but when your spouse passes away, you're going to lose one of your Social Security checks. You don't get to keep both of them. There's no spousal benefit when it comes to Social Security. And if you both have a Social Security check that's pretty similar, you could lose 50% of that income. And that goes for a pension maybe. I've seen it a number of times where people, clients of ours, they married for a second time, but when they married this person, they had already turned on a pension, maybe from a previous relationship. And you can't go back and add your new spouse to your current pension, which is brutal, but that's how it works, unfortunately. So when 2 people come together and tie their finances together, and then one of them passes away, they lose a major source of income. That's what life insurance is for. It's a tax-free way to replace that income. Otherwise, where's it going to come from? Guys, it's going to come right out of your life savings. It's going to come out of your IRAs, your retirement savings. And so if you lose 50% of your income, it's that much more you got to pull out of your IRAs and investment accounts. And depending on what the market's doing, it could hurt even more. So this is where all that planning ties in. When we plan for people, we stress test these portfolios. We show you, and we usually pick on the guys. Hey, what happens if, Joe checks out on life earlier than expected, earlier than we want? What is that going to do to your income, and what does that look like? And how would we make that up? So we create these scenarios to get you thinking about, hey, if life happens and, not according to plan, what does that do to the income? Personally, my family, my mom passed away 5 years ago, and it was completely unexpected. She had a massive stroke out of nowhere. She was completely healthy, and it completely just, 180'd the plans that my father and she had. They had all these great plans. She was 69 years old. She's like, their plan was get her to age 70, get the maximum Social Security benefit. See how Social Security ties into this? Get her to age 70 and then retire, and then do the things that they both wanted to do in retirement. They had 25, 30 years of stuff, planned to do, and then gone, just like that. Gone, blink of an eye. And plans were completely thrown out the window. And so that happens more often than not. So there's two things I want to mention in that story is what kind of, financial planning have you done to make up that loss, but also don't wait to do the things that you want to do in retirement. I've mentioned before on previous shows, I'm a part of a few Facebook groups, retirement Facebook groups, and they're awesome. I highly encourage you to check out one. Retired or Getting Close is one of them. There's a number of them on Facebook. But they get into great discussions, and from time to time I will mention some comments and thoughts from that on this show. And one of them the last couple of weeks was talking about that, like how to, to have freedom in retirement and not waiting to do those things. Because a lot of people feel like, with the market doing this, like, no, I want to put that off, and I want to maybe put off that trip, and maybe, not do this, or maybe even put off retirement, or putting off Social Security. And I'm just going to kind of make this statement that maybe it's not a good idea to put stuff off. Tomorrow is promised to no one. And honestly, you're probably never going to be as healthy as you are right now. You're going to get to a point in life where you can't do a lot of things like march up the stairs of that museum in Paris, whatever. Things like that. And so I caution you, be smart, plan, do those things, but maybe not just put stuff off from because you're kind of freaking out about the economy. Don't do that. Live life, love life, because again, tomorrow's promised to nobody. Okay, guys, action items. I always want to end the show with some action items, things that you can be implementing right away into your planning. And number one is, again, whether you're working out or just out and about doing regular life, listen to your body. Start today. Listen to your body. Rest if needed. Now, don't use that as an excuse to be lazy, because I told you, like, my personality is just to keep going, drive through it, put your head down and truck on. Some people's like, oh, I stubbed my toe, I need to take a month off. No, don't do that. Be smart. Listen to your body. Rest if needed. Number two, when you're reading headlines out there, especially about the market, take a deep breath, read between the lines. Is it really that bad? Probably not. Take a high-level view of what's actually going on. Take a deep breath, and then look at your planning. Go to your planning first, and then the investments if you think you still need to possibly make a change. But don't shoot from the hip. Don't freak out and think you got to go to cash. Think about what you're actually doing, what that chain of events would do if you carried it out. And number three, take a different outlook on life insurance in retirement. What is it for? How can it be used? And think of it more in terms of preserving freedom for your loved ones. And if you need to do some type of a life insurance review, it's the time to do it. It's Life Insurance Awareness Month, so now is the time to do it. Make sure that you've got all your bases covered, and make sure that if one of these days you check out on life early, it's not going to leave your family in a situation of stress and how they're going to make ends meet. So that's my wrap-up segment, guys. So that is my show for the day, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you have any questions like that, you can reach out. Go to patrickmcnally.com. I've got checklists on there. I've got a free book on there. If you'd like to download a free book, you can do that as well. But thank you for listening to the show, and I'll be back at it again next week, and I wish you the best in retirement. If you got something good out of the show, make sure you rate it, give me a thumbs up, and hit subscribe so you never miss out. Also, share it with your friends. Be sure to find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. One more thing before you go. Remember that the information I talk about on this podcast is believed to be factual and up to date, but do not consider it as personalized investment advice and cannot be interpreted as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned. You need to visit with a professional advisor, tax, or legal counselor before implementing any of the strategies presented. My firm, Retirement Lifestyles Advisory Group, is registered as an investment advisor, and we only transact business in the states where we're properly registered to do so.